Good morning, learners. I welcome you once again to our virtual classroom on computer studies. In continuation of our scheme, we will be looking at the topic database. Database. And under this topic, we have just one subtopic, terms associated with database. Terms associated with database. And by the end of the lesson, learners should be able to define the term database. Learners must be able to state examples of database packages, and learners must be able to mention and explain terms associated with database. So at the end of the lesson, learners must understand what database is all about, state examples of database package, and also mention and explain terms associated with database. So what is database? What is database? A database is a collection of data organized in a manner that allows easy access, retrieval, and uses of data. It's a collection of data organized in a manner that allow easy access, retrieval, and uses of data. A database is a collection of information that is organized so that it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated. A database is an organized collection of data. So if we could recall when we were discussing data and information, we said that data are raw facts or figures that are yet to be processed, while information are processed data. So by the time we gather information or we collect data and information and then we group it together using certain key or criteria, that is what we refer to as a database. That is a collection of data, it's a collection of information that is organized in a way that it will be easily accessible, it can easily be managed, and it can easily be updated for decision making. So in a nutshell, a database is an organized collection of data and information. In a manual database, data can be recorded on paper and stored in a filing cabinet, while in a computerized database, it is stored in an electronic format on a storage media. So we can actually have database manually and we can also have it computerized. And an example of a manual database is when we record our database on paper and store it in a filing cabinet, while that of a computerized database is the one that we do in an electronic format. So then we have the database management system, which is the application software that controls the data in the database. So the DBMS, database management system, is the application software that controls the data in the database, and that is if you are using a computerized database system. So the application software that controls the data in the database is what we refer to as DBMS, database management system. And we have numerous examples of DBMS packages, which include DBase, RBase, MS Access, that is Microsoft Access. We have Oracle, we have Parados, we have SQL Server, we have Sybase, we have ForcePro, we have IDMS, etc. So let's quickly move on to database terminologies. Database terminologies. We have quite a few number of them. Number one, we have field. When we're talking about database terminologies, we're talking about terms that are associated with database. So we have number one, field. Field is a single piece of information about an object, entity, or a thing. Field can also be defined as a space that holds specific part of data from a record. So we have examples of field such as name, address, quantity, age, date of birth, sex, and so on and so forth. So field is a single piece of information about an object. Then we have record. What is a record? A record is a collection of field. That is, if we gather all our field together, it becomes a record. It is the collection of information of a particular element, person, or object. Then we equally have file. File is the collection of related record. We have database. Database is a group of related file. And then we have the primary key, which is a field in a table whose value uniquely identify each record in the table. Then, as you can see, the table of a typical example of a database where we have a primary key, the ID, number 1 to 10. Then we have the name, which stands for the field. Class is a field, mark is a field, sex is a field. And then we have different data and information there, like John Deal is a data, 4 is a data, 75 is a data, female is a data. So by the time we group all this together, then we have a database. So far so good. Today we've looked at the definition of a database. We've looked at terminologies associated with database. So we said the database is a collection of information that is organized so that it can easily be accessed, managed, updated, and also used for decision making. And we equally said that a system or a software that controls the data in the database is what we refer to as DBMS. And then we equally define various terminologies associated with database. We have field, we have record, we have file, we have database, and then we have the primary key. So when next we meet, we continue from forms of database, and then we also look at various examples of a database. I remain your computer teacher, Kehinde Oladapo, Japara High School, Ijebu. Thank you and God bless you.